Hello, we're Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile, and today we're hanging out with Renfield.
As long as we don't have to eat any more bugs.
What bugs?
Exactly! What bugs?
Since 2014, Universal Pictures hasn't quite known what to do with their Universal monsters. They announced a shared monsterverse that died after Dracula Untold. They tried with The Mummy, starring Tom Cruise, and that failed again. They didn't find success until 2020 with the Invisible Man remake, directed by Leigh Whannell, known for Saw and Insidious. On a budget of only $7 million, it grossed $145 million.
I guess the Invisible Man wasn't so invisible.
This newest movie, Renfield, is based on an original pitch by producer Robert Kirkman, known for The Walking Dead, and uses a screenplay written by Ryan Ridley, known for Rick and Morty. Renfield is an action horror comedy directed and produced by Chris McKay, known for the Lego Batman movie. Look at that, the guy has a thing for bats. Director Chris McKay admitted that the film is intended to serve as a direct sequel to Todd Browning's 1931, Dracula. In a quick and effective intro, the film begins with classic black and white footage, reenacting and using scenes from Browning's film.
Renfield, you will make a very good assistant.
When you're immortal, how important is time management?
So, let's see if Renfield sucks. Having to relocate several times over the centuries, Dracula is now in modern-day New Orleans, where the film is also shot. Robert Montague Renfield, Dracula's fly-eating familiar, finds a new lease on life when he falls in love with Rebecca Quincy, a feisty traffic cop battling the Lobo crime family. Now with a support group, Renfield decides to finally stand up to his master in hopes of breaking free of his servitude. We're introduced to Renfield at a 12-step meeting for people in codependent relationships, where he plans on getting rid of their monsters by feeding his.
He's shopping for snacks.
He then bumps into the Lobo crime family, and this subplot sometimes feels out of place. They're cocaine dealers who own the police.
That's not powdered sugar on their donuts.
However, Rebecca, a renegade cop wanting to avenge her father's death at the hand of the Lobos, tries to bring them down. The movie has several messages.
Like, kill your boss!
What? No, it's a film about toxic relationships, codependency, and standing up for yourself. 90 years ago, Renfield gave up his family and has been forced to do his master's every bidding.
Like dry cleaning his cape.
Dracula wants to take over the world, but never gets close to acting on that or even coming up with a plan.
Like Dracula himself, the plot avoids any stakes.
The filmmakers have a lot of fun with the vampire lore in clever ways. At one point, Dracula is waiting for Renfield inside his new apartment, and I thought to myself, doesn't he need to be invited inside? And that's when Dracula points to the welcome mat on the floor.
That's why I bought a new mat.
Featuring characters from the 1897 novel Dracula by Bram Stoker, Nicholas Hoult plays the long-suffering servant of Dracula, who consumes insects to obtain their life force, essentially hulking up.
It's like Popeye spinach.
A lot of people are hyped for Nicolas Cage as Dracula, but Nicholas Hoult does a damn fine job leading the film. After all, it's his movie. In the past, he's proven he can play pale, sympathetic characters, like in Warm Bodies or Mad Max Fury Road. In the movie, Hoult and Cage have great chemistry, but they have previously worked together in The Weatherman, where Hoult plays Cage's son.
Always the servant, and never the master.
Awkwafina plays Rebecca Quincy, a New Orleans traffic cop and Renfield's love interest. While she may be funny, the romantic chemistry between the two isn't that great. They mostly motivate each other to fight their own monsters. Ultimately, they team up because they have the same goal.
But Renfield has always been so damn irresistible.
What are you doing to the furniture?
Ben Schwartz plays Teddy, the all-talk and no-walk son of the Lobo crime family, who adds some humor to every scene he's in. James Moses Black plays Captain Browning, which is a nice nod to Dracula director Todd Browning. I was pleasantly surprised to see Caroline Williams, better known as Stretch from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, appear as Vanessa in one brief scene. Another neat nod to old vampire films was the casting of William Ragsdale, better known as Charlie Brewster in the Fright Night films, who plays the elderly priest.
You have the word of the most trusted institution on earth, the Catholic Church.
You're so cool, Brewster.
Then there's Nicolas Cage as Dracula, aka Cageula. There are 3 roles that Cage always dreamt of playing: Superman, that almost happened, Captain Nemo, and Dracula.
Mr. Cage does own some castles.
Cage does have experience playing a vampire who is also a horrible boss, as first seen in Vampire's Kiss.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
The first movie Cage ever produced was Shadow of the Vampire in the year 2000.
But the real reason he's perfect to play a vampire is because he is one.
His love of Christopher Lee, who famously played Dracula, is why Cage makes so many horror movies. Also, why he probably agreed to be in a remake of a Christopher Lee movie. The Wicker Man.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
Cage studied how Lugosi, Lee, Langella, and Oldman portrayed Dracula in the past and borrowed what worked and made it his own. A fan of silent movie acting, Cage focused on how Dracula would move.
He's got some swagger. I mean, look at those rings.
You'd expect that the filmmakers would take their time revealing Nicolas Cage as Dracula, or worse, that he wouldn't be in the movie that much. However, they waste no time showing Cageula destroy some vampire hunters in the first 2 minutes. Nicolas Cage slays as Dracula.
It was a bonus that Nicolas Cage can turn into a bat.
Cage plays Dracula as a charming monster sick of hiding in the shadows and wants to be an immortal god ruling Earth. He sees everyone as either followers or food.
What I say to my animal crackers.
It was refreshing to see Renfield go from a well-known side character to the center stage.
I hope they make an Igor spin-off.
I expected Nicolas Cage as an eccentric Count Dracula, some fight scenes, some laughs, a lot of blood, and that's exactly what I got. The special effects team did not hold back. All hopped up on spiders, Renfield punches a henchman's head clean off.
Jason would be proud.
This is Dracula, so the blood has to flow, but it's so over the top, you'd think the Kool-Aid Man swallowed a grenade. The gore reaches cartoonish levels.
Renfield really did an X-ray attack for Mortal Kombat.
Cageula is a burnt husk early on and undergoes several impressive, gory stages of regeneration.
Like Nicolas Cage's hairline. Ugh.
The set design was impressive. I especially loved Dracula's decaying hospital lair and his throne of empty blood bags.
Me, when I drink a whole box of Capri Sun.
So, does Renfield suck? No. There are so many ideas crammed into the 90-minute runtime that they don't quite pay off. However, these flaws don't overshadow the actors playing these funny characters forced into bloody situations. Being an action horror comedy, tonally, the movie is a mess, but that wild, chaotic energy also kind of works. It was mindless, fun entertainment, and I'd hang out with Renfield again. We've been Andy, the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for liking and subscribing.
We'll see you next time.